Then we'll get that installed. We'll put the spindle back on and get this wheel all buttoned up. One of these things is not like the other. The Fordalac. You say you're worried about financing? There's no need to worry. We take cash all day long at Rick's Rusty Rex. Show you more. Welcome to RCindustry. Well, hey, it's Rick here, and a little short video today, but we're working on the old limelateda, the Fordalac, Ford that has a better idea. You know, that thing we've been doing here. So, you know, in the last video I sourced a spindle and all that, and so we got the spindle cleaned up in the last video, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. And so in this video we're going to compare the old spindle, because I cut the nut off and got it all took apart because the rotors were not the same size. So the spindle apparently is the same, but you know, I'm sure when it's something we have to check. I'm sure the bracketry that holds the caliper is a different size, and so we've got to check that. And then I want to check the circumference of the axle to make sure that the bearings that I've ordered and that they're going to be the right size. So we got to kind of sit down and check all that stuff, and we're going to use our high-tech mic that I've got, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you know, let's just get to it. Show you more. Okay, so one of these things is not like the other. So this is off of the limelateda. So we are at 11 3/4. This is off the Mercury. What is that thing? I don't know. Ford Thunderbird, Mercury, something or other. And this one is 10 5/8 and 11 3/4. So a little over an inch bigger than the one off of the spindle that we bought. So we know we can't use this. So let's put that over there. All right. So. Let me get some of this off of here. I don't want to sit in that. I actually have some clean jeans on. Shorts, whatever. So let's take a look at some of this stuff. Okay, so this is the backing plate. This is all the stuff off the Mercury. This is the stuff off the LTD. So we know that this bearing and everything. Well, first of all, let me tell you what's going on here. I found out, I think, why they welded this nut on, because you can see we had to cut it off. So it's right here, and this race in here is loose, so it spins inside the hub. So my thinking is that they were trying to stop that bearing from spinning, or the race from spinning. And so I guess they tightened it down, because if that is spinning, that could cause a vibration and could cause that nut to back off if you didn't have it securely tightened up. I'm just thinking outside the box here, because I don't really know. But for some reason, so I've had that happen before, so I can burr the edges of that a little bit and put some Loctite down in there, and I can get that bearing to not spin, or that race. So I ain't worried about that. And the hub itself, or the disc rotor, is in good shape. So but I think that they were having a problem, and maybe their backyard crack smoking theory was to weld it on. I don't really know. So let's get that out of the way. All right. So pull this up here. We know this is the outer bearing, and this is the inner bearing. So what I want to do is compare this spindle with this spindle. So we're going to have to get this off of here first. So let me get my air impact, and we'll take this dust cover off. seal's still on there, so for whatever reason for that. Okay. Now, all right. So we know we got these brackets that hold the caliper, and I've talked to a couple different people. One says the caliper was designed for the different size rotors, and one said no, you'll have to change them. So we're going to actually see if we can get a measurement across here just to get a rough idea. So this one is 5 3/4, and this one is 5 3/4. And that's from this edge to this edge here, same here. So that is the same. So I've got a caliper, or a, I guess a caliper, is that what you call this? I don't know. So let's see what the first thing I want to do is check. Let's get a little of this grease off of here. Not much of this one left after I cut it all up here. So let's see. So this one, okay, so we're right about there. So I have no idea what all this means, these numbers, but I know that that's where it's at. So let's see what we got here. And it's about, oh yeah, it's the same, I think. So I'm convinced that part is the same. So let's, now my caliper is not big enough to check this part back here, but what is big enough is these vice grips. So everybody's got a pair of these around probably. So let's just see what this area back here for the dust seal is. That just has a nice little drag to it. So let's see. And so does that one. So I'd say that part is the same. Let's try the inner part for the bearing. Back that off just a little bit. It's kind of like a feeler gauge. You just want it to just rub. Yeah, I'd say that's the same. So within a 4 or 5 thousandths there. No, not really. It's pretty clear. It's tighter than that. Okay, so let's just get an idea of the depth here. So this one is, if I lean it up towards it, it's right at 5 inches. And so is this one. So I would say that these two parts are the same. Now this dust cover, obviously the one that was on my car is bent up, but they look exactly the same. Because you got to remember, this car, even though the brake rotor was smaller, it had the same size wheels and tires on it, so that came on it, as what this would have come on this one. Because this is the base model. This is not, the Interceptor package or anything like that. So I think that part is the same. So let's check our bearings and see what we got with bearings. All right, show you more. Okay, so I don't have my outer bearings yet. They're still ordered. But he gave me the dust seals and the inner bearings. So let's just see once what we got there. Make sure they're going to fit on here. Okay, so here's our inner bearing. And these come as matched sets, so I don't want to go ahead and take that out, but I want to see. Yeah, that goes right on there. Okay, so that one is good. And that is a National JL69349. Okay, so that one looks like that one's going to work. Let's just get an idea of what the old one was. The old one, JL69349. So it's the same. So that's exactly the same. So that one's seen better days. But so, like I said, I don't have this outer one. So let's see if this dust seal is the right size. Again, I don't want to force this because, yeah, that's not the right size seal. It's not big enough. So let's see if we can pull the other seal out. Actually, we have the other seal. It's right here. So these I'll have to take back. Those are not correct. Let's see if this seal has a number on it. It's definitely nasty. Boy, I don't see no numbers on this nowhere. This one fits on there, see? So I'm going to clean this up and take this with me, take those back, and I think we're good to go to put this back on. I can't put it back on just yet because I don't have my A-arm bushings, the upper A-arms. Ray's not got those put in there yet. So, and I can't take them both out and having to do them both at the same time because I don't have enough jacks and jack stands. And right now I'm using the floor jack I do have to hold the spring up so it doesn't, let all that come out of there. So yeah, it's just one thing. It's just going to take a little time. But what I can do is go ahead and get everything cleaned up and get it ready to go back together. So I will do that and get that done. And once we get the rest of get that A-arm bushings, or get the A-arm back from the new bushings being put in, then we'll get that installed, we'll put the spindle back on and get this wheel all buttoned up. Alright, thanks for coming along today. I know it's just a little video, but I kind of wanted to keep you updated because if I take too much film or too much video or whatever it's called, then the thing gets real long. And so I thought, well, I'll just do some little short ones here because we're trying to get this thing rolling so we can get down the track down there. I've already made a call out to old Chucky's Garage, and I got a couple of others I want to call out, but I got to see if this thing will drive around the block first, before I drive to Sikeston. It would be kind of nice. So anyway, thanks for coming along. Be sure to like and share. Ring the bell if you want to know about the rest of the videos coming up. I mean, I put something out every day, sometimes twice a day. So, there's close to 1,000 videos on there. So if you ain't got something to watch, then you ain't getting on there and looking. So there's a bunch of stuff on there. Go back and check out last year's NoNameNationals stuff. Go back and check out the crusty Chrysler from last year. The War Wagon, don't forget about that one. Old Blackie, the old Dodge D-100. And I think I got my son's D200 on there, and which, by the way, I think he's bringing that to the NoNameNationals. So he doesn't have enough subscribers yet to participate. So, he might get enough, and he could always, if he can get enough between now and then, he might. But he's going to actually drive it down there. We're going to caravan together, and I think Tadlock's Tool Shed may kind of caravan with us on the way down there. So, we're going to take the back roads, go across all them rickety old bridges down there in the corner of Illinois there and Kentucky and all that. So, yeah, we'll be there. Thanks for coming along. Be sure, like I said earlier, like and share and subscribe. Subscribe today. It's free. And as always, we're making it just like brand used here, baby. Run, Tallulah, run!
Hi, baby.